Yeah, just chilling.
Just chilling in the good old New Jersey area.
Yes. The weather's been perking up, so that's been nice.
That's good. Like, how hot is it in New Jersey right now?
It's like 82 today,
That's
so
not bad.
it's gonna get worse. We get,
How?
like, heat waves. It gets very humid over here in the summer. It won't last like this. It will get
Mhm.
much worse, and then I will be dying in my apartment and have to crank up about 3 different fans to cool off, so
3 fans? Oh.
well, we have the wall units. There's a wall unit in the living room, which is near my room. Then there's a wall unit in my mom's room in our apartment. And then we
Mhm.
have a portable air conditioner, which is more like a swamp cooler. You put ice and water in it, and then it works like a fan and ventilates. And then I have one fan, but we're thinking about getting another one because of how hot it's going to be. So, yeah, it's massive.
New Jersey is a different level. Jeez. Okay. I thought Canada was bad, but no. Never mind.
Mm-mm. The
Oh.
summer over here, it's like that's the thing about people who go on vacation to Florida. If you go to Florida, it's warm, but there's no humidity. It's dry heat.
Yeah.
Here, it's all the moisture and stuff that makes it a lot worse. You're like sweating when it gets
Wow.
really hot over here.
Oh. No, 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 no. I just finished up tour like I mentioned to you, and literally I went all the weird places like Texas, Florida, North Carolina. I think I
Mhm.
did do one place in New Jersey, and either way, like humidity, I'm not a person that likes humidity. And it's a no. It's a no.
I don't either, and my Alexa was just telling me to drink water and nobody cough because I have this thing where it goes off if I cough, and then it says, "This is a reminder, make you drink water." Nobody coughed. I don't know why I did that, but anyway,
Maybe it
yeah,
heard me laughing. I don't know, but that's
I
sus.
don't know. She's weird. She needs to stop talking to me. But yeah, it gets really weird over here. Over the course of the last, I want to say 10 years, it has gotten progressively hotter, and that's just another point of global warming's a thing. Be nice to Mother Nature because we are dying, and I don't want to get a heat stroke. So
Yeah, you've probably gotten heat stroke like a couple times there, right?
I've been lucky that I haven't, but
What?
I have not. I mean, most of the time in the summer, I mean, I try to, if I'm outside, try to be somewhere where there's shade or,
Mhm.
the beach, like cool down, like dunk my head in some water and just try to stay alive, and it's good enough. Even sticking my head in the freezer probably helps.
Crazy, crazy. Also, you guys say water funny. I didn't realize.
Water, water.
Water. I love it. I love it. I love the accent. I love the New Jersey accent.
Thank
So,
you.
how'd you start getting into music a little bit?
So I have always been into music. I think I was about 3
Hmm.
when I would just sing around my house. I'd sing Backstreet Boys. I was a big fan of Backstreet Boys because my sister loved Backstreet Boys, and so it kind of started around that age.
Just Backstreet Boys. That's it.
Backstreet Boys, there was Britney Spears, and then when I was 5, there was then, Jesse McCartney and, like, all
Hmm.
those people that I kinda grew around.
A lot of influences then. Like
Mhm.
very tons like 80s, well, some 70s. Yeah. We got
N
one
90s,
90s.
90s, early 2000s, and then I got into, like, some of the bands, like Simple Plan, Green Day. Those were kinda, like, the first 2 bands I got into because my
Okay.
sister really was into them. That was, like, her middle school, high school experience was that type of music, and
Mhm.
then later, my taste in music kinda morphed into something different.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen to your music. I'm like, what? Okay, what would you consider your music sounds similar to then at that point?
So, I've gotten a lot of comparisons to Avril Lavigne. That's been, like, the
Oh,
main one that's been coming out a lot,
that's good.
yeah. Another comparison I've gotten before is Alanis Morissette, which I listen to both of them, and I love their music.
Mhm.
Jagged Little Pill is a great album of the '90s, so can't say much more than that, and Avril Lavigne is classic, and she continues to live on the legacy that she has. I mean, now she's doing a greatest hits tour. That's just crazy how her music has spanned over the course of several years and has continued to evolve and be morphed into different things. And you make a song about a skater boy, and then you made a song about Hello Kitty, and that's weird, but I
That's
mess with
Apple.
it,
That's
you
Apple.
know?
I guess
Yeah.
she's the queen of pop. What is it? Pop. Yeah, pop punk. Pop punk. She's the
Pop
pop punk.
punk.
She's pop punk
Yeah.
queen. I guess. Were you a skater girl back in the day?
I don't know how to skateboard. Actually, it took me until I think the 2nd grade to ride a bike without training wheels.
What? How did
Took
what?
me forever to learn. I think it's just because at a certain point, like, my mom was a stay-at-home mom and my dad was working, but then my mom started to work again, and then I didn't really have the time to do that.
Mhm.
But then eventually I did learn how to ride a bike without training wheels, but it wasn't until
That's
about
cool.
1st or 2nd grade, yeah. I wasn't good at skateboarding. We did have a skateboard. Do you remember the show, Rocket Power?
Ooh, wasn't that on Nick? Right or
That
no?
was on Nickelodeon,
Okay.
yeah, it was a bunch of these kids who literally were just skateboarders, and my
Yeah.
sister had a skateboard where on the bottom of the skateboard was, like, the cartoon people who were in the show. So we had that skateboard for a while, and I still didn't know how to skateboard. I tried a couple times, it's just
Mhm.
so much work and getting hurt and stuff like that, so, I was more of a bike scooter girl.
Scooter girl. I like it. I wasn't a skater person either until like high school. And then but I was a bike guy. I was very much a bicycle is what hiking bike kind of thing. I just
Like,
go
a
around
mountain bike,
mountain
yeah.
bike. Yeah, that kind of thing. I always like going around the yard, around the good old community area. It was fun. It was fun back in the day, but I always fall. I always fall and scrape up my knees. I can't do the skateboarding. It never works. It never does. I don't get it.
I love people who know how to, like, I like watching the, like, flips and tricks, like, one day I would love to go to, like, a skate park and just watch people skate. I think that's the coolest thing, like, Tony Hawk is
Tony Hawk.
still a super cool dude, like, and I don't know. I don't think we've fully gone over the skater boy phase because I feel like it's still a thing. Like we also
Hmm.
have longboarding penny boards, which are like the tiny ones, which I don't know what the heck you do with that. Are you on like one foot and just going? I don't know.
Yeah, that's how you die. That's how you die at that point.
That's how you die.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
how you die. But
Die in a penny board.
die in a pit. And then a longboard as well somehow. I don't know.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
yeah. What's your goal for music though?
I just wanna make music. That's probably, like, super cliche to say, but I just wanna be happy
Mhm.
and continue to kinda do what I do already. My goal with music has changed over the course of the years because I was very naive when I started this thinking Spotify would be able to, like, pay me a good amount to live off of and this and that, and I obviously learned very quickly that wasn't the case, and that's fine, and I think, right now, like, I started really taking it seriously around 18, 19, and now I'm 25, and I'm like, I just wanna make good music, and I wanna continue to meet people regardless if it's on the internet like this or meeting people when I do shows in Jersey or New York, which I frequent as well, and just continue to meet people and spread a message and continue to just make art in any way that I can.
Cool. How's the music scene over there? Like for
Poppin'. It's
popping?
poppin'. It's
Okay.
poppin'. It's really nice over here. We have so many scenes. We have a nice underground punk scene. We have a hip hop scene that's pretty cool. We have so many bands. We have a little bit of R&B. We've got a little bit of everything. And
Nice.
a lot of artists that I know now tend to go up to Philly too to play. So a lot of my friends will go to Philly and play and in Brooklyn. So because we're so close to all of the areas because we're
Yeah.
in North Jersey. I'm in North. South Jersey, though, has a really good scene too if you go to Asbury Park. Obviously, if you know anything about Asbury Park, Bruce Springsteen, that's his home base. So he kind of is one of the pioneers of that music scene even kind of being there. And of course Bon Jovi too. That's also his scene
That's
for
Bon
the most.
Jovi scene? I did not know that.
Oh, the other day, I think my boss goes to LBI a lot in the summer, and I think he saw a picture of Bon Jovi and Bruce Springsteen hanging out there, like, together, and he had
What?
just been there in that area, like, a couple hours ago, and then he saw the picture, yeah, so they hang out a lot over there. Yeah, it's very cool.
Dang, you got
I
to
went
collab with Bon Jovi now at this point.
or Bruce.
Yeah,
Bruce would be cool,
that's
yeah.
really cool. Dang.
But, we have such a nice scene over here, and, you know, not everyone is nice, but I'd like to say most people that I have met in the scene have been very kind, very cool, people that I've learned from, have been able to look up to, and a lot of people that I've been able to play shows with and network with, and that's been really, really cool about being in Jersey and being around all these areas of music. Like, Philly's got a good scene too. Brooklyn, I can't tell you how many stories I have about going over there. It's crazy over there too. It's awesome. And I just love meeting people and having stories to tell. So,
What's one funny story and then a horror story that you've had for music so far?
I don't know if I really have any horror stories,
Okay.
but funny stories. I went to an open mic in Brooklyn.
Mhm.
It might have been Williamsburg, I don't remember. Brooklyn is so big, and then there's different areas in Brooklyn, but I think it was around there, and it was in this bar, and the bar's really big, but then all the way in the back, they have another room, and that's where they do the open mic, so it's like a room, and then it goes into a smaller room, and so there was about, I wanna say ballpark 10 or 15 of us. And I went with my friend at the time who was actually playing a full set in the beginning because she was featured artist. So she played like a half hour and then we all did an open mic and we did about 2 or 3 songs. And there was this guy at the end of it who was really old, like was probably someone's grandpa and was singing. And I don't even want to say the things that were coming out of his mouth, but the type of songs he was singing, someone get their grandpa because he was saying some really unhinged shit in his songs. It was I couldn't
Oh,
contain myself. I couldn't wait to leave. It was a little too much for me, but it was very entertaining, kind of funny, but like I also had to leave and like I couldn't deal with that. That was a lot.
yikes! I would assume cancel culture would have got to him at some point, right?
No, I wouldn't say it was things to be canceled for. I would
Oh,
just say it was just, he was talking about, like, he was referencing, I think, certain drugs and stuff like that, and
oh, okay,
that was just a lot. It wasn't anything, I guess, to be canceled for, so I wouldn't say it was that bad. It
okay.
it was just a little bad.
It
It
was a
was
little
just
bad.
it
Okay,
was a little too much for me, like,
too much.
"Grandpa, please go home and take a nap, please. You're scaring me." Um,
That's New York. That's New Jersey area. That's understandable. I get it at that point. Yeah, that's
yeah, he
yeah.
was talking about his youth. He was having a good time. Yeah.
A couple drinks too much, maybe. Who knows? But that's the point.
He was talking about his youth, he was having a good time, so, I won't judge him there, but I do have to say, I was not expecting my night to go like this. So
You got a memory out of it. That's the main thing.
exactly, exactly.
Oh yeah, cool. So you released a song in January called Cruise Control. How long did that take to make that song? Like the whole process for it and creating it?
Um, I wanna say recording-wise, it probably didn't take longer than a month or 2, and then mixing-wise, it took about another 2 months just because at the time I was switching studios with my producer, and we were also changing our team up a bit and adding a different mixing engineer. But the process for that song, I think, was super fun just because I started getting more into my element with just making rock style music. Like that's my bread and butter. That's what I'm good at. That's what I love making. And so all the music that I'm starting to make now is geared in that direction because I played around with the pop sound and I played around even with the hip hop sound, and a lot of people told me how much they didn't like that sound, which that's a different story. But
Whoa.
I really fell in love with that mix of pop rock because I love the grittiness of rock, but I also love the catchiness of like a fun chorus that kind of gets stuck in your head. So that mixed pop rock has always been really attainable for me and something easy for me because it's two things that I love at one time, and that's really cool.
Yeah.
Um, and the video for that was super fun to make too, and we shot it in November, and then I dropped it in January, so that was cool. It was also very cold when we filmed the second part of the video, but it was a fun experience. It was pretty cold. I think the temperature just started dropping, so I wanna say it got down to the 40s, so it was pretty cold because we were right at around, like, 50, 45, like, the first day of shooting, which was just me and my friend, and we were at the Meadowlands, which if you've seen The Sopranos or if anybody's seen The Sopranos, it's basically that whole walkway with all like the grassland type stuff. Like you could look it up. It's an iconic part of Jersey. Everybody goes
Ooh.
there, takes photos and stuff. So we shot there. And then the second part of the video we were shooting about a week later in the parking lot of one of my college's buildings. So we did that because we had the car there and everything. My friend's car, he brought his Mustang and we filmed with it. And yeah, and
Fancy
it was about
budget.
40.
Fancy budget you got going on for the video.
Not that fancy. My friend that's got my friend just happened to have a Mustang, and I told him for the next video, it's gonna be like I want to have your car in the video, and I want you in the video with the car jamming with me. And he's like, "Are you sure that you want me in the car jam?" I'm like, "It's your car, and like we're gonna jam." And so I had him in the artwork. My friend Dan, who's in the artwork for the video, he also makes music. He makes hip hop, but that's the second video he's been in for me because he was also in another video for me, and so yeah, it just happens that he has an old Mustang. He loves this thing. He also does the maintenance on his car. Very cool car, very old school, and I loved it, and that's why I wanted it in the video. I thought, yeah, that's super awesome.
It fits the aesthetic for it. Okay.
It fits the vibe for sure.
Dang. Okay. Do you have any new music that's coming out? Of course, you mentioned you're working on new stuff, but like, when though are you going to be dropping next? I would say.
That is such a good question. You should ask my friend slash producer who is still in the process of sending me my mix.
Oh, okay.
Um, we wrapped up the new song back in the spring, and he actually took master class in mixing, so he really wanted to mix this one, so he did. And I'm hoping I get it soon. I actually called him today and I was like, "When am I gonna get my mix? I am dying. I'm rolling over in my grave wanting to listen to this. I'm so excited. It hurts." So the next song I'm hoping to drop in the summer, but if not the fall, I'm hoping I don't have to wait that long. But
Yeah.
I am gonna give some breathing room. But yeah, I'm gonna plan to do a video for it too. I'll tell you the name of it. I'll give you the
Ooh,
exclusive. So
exclusive
I'll give
you.
you the exclusive. So the name of the song is called Sway Links.
Oh, meaning?
So yeah, so the meaning behind the song is it's about my struggle with mental health and basically the whole idea of if I drive my car and the sway links fall off, like what am I going to do when I give up on myself? That's kind of what the meaning is behind that cuz where the line came from was I was journaling and I wrote down, "What if the sway links broke off my car? What if I don't get that far?"
Mm,
And then I took that and I wrote about 3 different songs, and I didn't like any of them. I was sending them to my friends. I was, like, playing around with stuff, and then I ended up taking bits and pieces from each song and then morphing it into one song that I liked, and then I got the riff on the guitar, and then I was like, "Yeah, this is it, and we're gonna record
nice.
it." And then that's where that came from. So yeah, I'm kinda scared to put it out because it's something that I don't usually openly talk about, like, I'm not I'm not scared of talking about mental health awareness and stuff like that. It's something I talk very clearly about. But in this light, it was very different to go in deeper re- reflection about it.
Mhm.
So I'm kind of glad that I did it and I pushed myself to do that. So yeah, that's gonna be the next song,
Nice.
and I'm hoping to drop it pretty soon because I'm pretty proud of this one.
That's great. That's honestly, I wish more artists, like even independent artists, should start getting more into is the more deep level conversations about mental health and mental awareness and everything, and those deep meaning songs. And that's great that you're actually getting to do that, because a lot of people are scared to actually go out and actually make something out of that, right?
Yeah, thank you. And for a while I was kind of playing the game of like, I'm gonna make this type of song because I'm angry right now. So here's a breakup song, and then here's another one, here's another one. And then I kind of got into this thing of, oh, people are gonna like this, so I have to record this one. And then I put the one that I really wanted to work on the back burner, and I didn't want to do that again. Cause I have another song, which is that one's gonna be the next one I want to work on, and that one was originally gonna be the one that I was gonna work on, but then I had this urge in me to work on this song, which is
That's
now
good.
the one that will be done, and then I went with that, and I said, "I'm
Nice.
gonna see this through until the end," and then I did, so I'm glad that I did that because it opens up the door for me to do that a little bit more, so I'm not so
Mhm.
scared to do that.
Yeah. I hope it opens up a lot more of a door, and hope people engage with it a lot with you, and then you can open up more opportunities with more mental health kind of songs. Or I don't know how you're gonna go about with your release schedule and that, but I hope it opens up a lot more opportunities for you after this. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. I hope so too. I mean, in general, if
Mhm.
someone takes something out of it, I hope it's that they find hope, or they find a way
Yeah.
to talk about what they're going through, because we're in an epidemic with mental health, and we've been in for years. Suicide awareness is important. Talking about mental health, depression, anxiety is important. I don't think we do enough of it. I think we've gotten better with time, but it's still something that we still need to talk about it more so we get more people to talk about it. And we also need more mental health resources that are affordable for people. I always talk about that because we don't make it affordable. That's why a lot of people don't go to therapy, and
They're being expensive though, you
it's
know?
really expensive, and that's why they need to have more affordable options for people. Very big on that because I think therapy could help so many things and prevent so many things from happening if we had more people who were able to talk to someone.
And that is why music has been made for therapy instead.
Oh, absolutely. There's so many people who were musicians that didn't go to therapy, and you could totally tell in their lyrics, but you could also tell also if they did and they're just so reflective. Like,
Yeah.
I think Kurt Cobain probably coulda used some, but he made
Yeah.
some really good music because he was such a reflective person. That's the great thing about music, is it is kinda like a journal. That's why when I journal something in my journal, I don't like to call it a diary, it makes me feel like a little schoolgirl, but, like, when I journal in my journal, sometimes I take fragments and pieces of what I'm saying because it makes the conversation I'm trying to have in my lyrics a little bit more like me. I'm not just thinking of it on top of my head. It's like I
Mhm.
actually said this to myself. Like I was actually talking about this. So that's been the approach I've been taking a lot lately.
Nice. I like that. That's awesome. I need to get into journaling or diary writing. I used to when I was very, very little, but now I don't, because I don't know. I just forget, and then you get busy, and then that's the thing. People get busy, people forget, and then it's hard out. It's hard out here. You
Mhm.
know, it's hard to get into a new schedule.
Absolutely, and, I didn't get into journaling until about last year, and I got to a certain point where every day I'd take about 20, maybe 30 minutes during my workday and go
Mhm.
down to this lounge that we have at work and just, like,
Mm.
write and then go back to work, and then I was doing that for a while, and then, obviously, things pick up and things get busy, and then you can't always go and take a break, or sometimes if you take a break, it's, like, 10 minutes, then you got, stuff, and I work in PR, that's my day job, so sometimes I can't always do it's it's a lot sometimes, I really like my job, but sometimes my day gets crazy, like
Yeah.
10 AM is not the same as 2 PM sometimes.
No. PR, it changes rapidly. It's PR.
Yeah.
I know PR because I work with a lot of PR people, and she's like, "How do you do it?" That's what I want to know. How do you do it, girl?
Absolutely, especially because I do media relations, but I also focus heavy in social media content creation, so I'll cut reels, I make static photos, like, I do some graphic design stuff, so I do a little bit of everything. I'm kinda crazy, I'm always busy, I'm always doing something, but, it also translates to when I'm doing stuff for music and my social media. I've learned so many skills that have kinda just crossed over.
Tips and tricks. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's hard to journal every single day. I know there's some people that are like, "I can't go a day without journaling, like, I need a journal," and for me, I don't feel the urge to journal every day like I used to. I think when I started doing it, I had so much to get out of my mind, so I did. But nowadays, it's like when I feel compelled to journal, I will sit down and I will journal. And sometimes it'll be a paragraph and I'll be like, I'm so pissed off and blah, blah, blah. And it'll be like nothing. But then sometimes I will write about sometimes a page, sometimes 3 pages, really depending on what I'm trying to process and go through. And I think that's important is if you're going to do it, I don't think you have to be consistent with it at first. I know I wasn't. I think I started doing it was like once a week, then it was like a couple times a week, then it was like every day I needed to talk about something. So I kind of just wrote it out. And I think, for people like you, if you want to start doing it, just get a journal that you like, get a pen that you like. Like I love gel pens. I think that's super important. I like what I'm writing about and what I write with a lot. Also gel pens are cool. I think they're better. Um, and you just keep going with it and you just talk about what you want to talk about. And I don't let anybody freaking look at my journal. That I would
Yeah.
rather be caught dead than have someone see some of the things
Oh.
that I just have to process because I think sometimes when I'm processing things, I'm being like, blah, 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 and then I'll be like, girl, why the hell were you upset about that? Like, relax, girl. Like, you need to take a chill pill.
It happens. It's fine. Give it some time. Give it. That's why we have the journals for you to vent and process all that stuff. You just let your feelings go. You know.
Exactly, and then when you go back and read about it, you'll be like, "Oh my goodness.
What did I say and
What did
do?
I say?
What?
Why was I feeling this way?"
Why did I
Yeah,
think that? Why did I process that in my head and being like, dang, why?
yeah, and there's the reflection part.
And those days, that's why I'm kind of glad that I don't do it sometimes. And I'm like, yikes. Then I have to look back on this. So
I don't know. I think sometimes it's good to call yourself out. My therapist likes to call me out, and sometimes I tell her, "Hey, I journal about this," and then I felt bad about myself. So I think I called myself out, and I had your voice in my head, and she'll start laughing at me.
yikes. I don't want to have that go to therapy and then I start journaling. Then I have the therapist in my head. I'm good. I don't want that to yikes. Yikes then. Ooh.
I don't know. I love my therapist. I think she's a total G and she's so funny. So having her in my head is honestly like an angel being like, don't, you know what? You need to think this through a little bit. You have more confidence, like all these things that she reminds me. So yeah, it's if you get one that's like that, she's pretty cool. You gotta get one of those that are chill.
Dang, I need a therapist. And then we go back to money. Dang it. All
I
right.
know, man.
Is there a song you wish you never wrote?
Oh, I wouldn't say that I wish I never wrote it. I just wish I would've you were talking about this processing thing. I wish I
Yeah.
would've processed it and maybe rewrote some stuff. I'd say attached.
Okay.
A lot of people had a lot of words to say about that song, and not all of them were very, cash money, if you will.
Ooh.
Um
Okay.
to be fair, I don't like that song anymore just because I look back on it and I kind of cringe. And the thing is that I only dropped that song about like a year ago, and within a year, I have gotten myself to cringe over it.
That's
Which
a
shows
new
a
one. Okay.
that shows a lot of character development that year.
Yeah.
It was that moment where I was working on a different song and I was really angry and I came in and I was with my producer Matt and I was like, and he's one of my best friends, and I told him exactly what was going on, and he was like, "You're in a different mindset. What do you want to do?" I'm like, "We're working on this song now, and this is how it's gonna go." And then I wrote a second verse for the song, which was the rap, probably within like 5 to 10 minutes, and then boom, and we started recording the demo, and that was it. And I started doing the guitar, like the dun 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 dun, and we just started recording and recording and recording. The process of making that song was fun. I wish I don't know if I really needed to go like Eminem on that track. I feel like I
We
look
all
back
need
and
an
I'm like,
Eminem
"Man."
era. I feel like every artist needs that at one point.
Oh, well, that was it for me. It's one and done, and I think we're gonna put that alter ego in a box, lock it up, throw it down the river.
You had
Never
a
see it
Slim
again.
Shady era. It's fine. Everyone has something at some point.
And just give me the bleach blonde hair, because I also had that at one point too. I actually almost went back to bleach blonde. I might go back to that.
So
That
we're gonna get the Slim Shady era back, is what you're
No, we're not
saying.
getting the rapping back. We probably will never see rapping like that again. I might do like an Ed Sheeran style rap. Like I definitely want to do that
Ooh,
again, because
okay.
that's more me. But
Yeah.
that style, you're not
Yeah.
gonna get that again.
No,
That was one and done deal. If you want to listen to it, you listen to that track, because I will not do it again.
Okay. Like you don't need to go back into your in that. Okay, we're good. Okay, let's spice it up then. If you could pick any song on the internet that you wish you got to make, what would it be?
That is such a tough question. There's so many songs that I wish I could have dreamed of making.
Mm-hmm.
There were so when you said that, there were like 3 songs that came at the top of my head, so I'm just gonna
Yeah,
name
say
them.
them.
So the first one that I thought of was "How Soon Is Now" by The Smiths,
Ooh.
because I really love how I think they copied over like 7 guitar layers and did like the reverb on it.
Mhm.
And Johnny Marr's got like that guitar thing going. I really loved that. So the first time I heard the song, I'm like, man, I'm not as talented as these dudes. They're crazy in the 80s. It's
Yeah.
an 80s band. They're awesome. And then the second song I thought of was more modern. It's called Constellations by Jade LaMac. And I really love that song because it's a pop tune, but the piano and the ambience of that song I thought was so eclectic and awesome that the first time someone showed it to me, I had that song on a continuous loop for days. I was listening to it. I was like, I can't get this song out of my head.
Ooh.
And it's a simple song, but I just loved it so much. I was like, oh my God, I wish I could have made something like this. And I recently learned that when Jade first made the song, I think it started as like a reimagining of a Rihanna song. I think it was a reimagining of Stay by Rihanna. I think it's like the same chords that she was using, but she kind of flipped it and made it her own. I think that's what it was.
Neat.
Yeah, very cool. And then the last song I was thinking of was Drive by Incubus, which I recently got into that band, and I love how simple it was, and they had like a little hip hop scratch in there, and
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what one day when I make a song, I want to kind of have a little bit of that in there, because I feel like we don't have enough DJ scratches in songs, and I like how it kind of adds a little, you know,
To it.
oomph to it.
Yeah.
Exactly, it's different. I mean, back then, I mean,
It was a regular actually back then. They did a lot of DJ scratches.
yeah, and then you look at like Linkin Park, who did it
Mhm.
heavily and more heavy with like the new metal type stuff. So yeah, I kind of want to bring that back. So
Oh,
those are 3 songs that I wish I wrote that I
you
really love.
got a wide genre variety. I like that because most people are like, nah, let's just do the one and done of this kind of. Nah, I like that because people are you're different. You're different than most people.
I'm built different.
Yeah.
I'm built different.
You're built different. Do you go to the gym there?
I do. I
Oh,
do.
wow.
Yes. I go to the gym twice a week. I've been going to the gym for 1 year now, so that's been fun.
Let's go 1 year anniversary.
Yeah.
Huge. Are we gonna get like a big celebration tour thing, I guess, for the gym?
No, I started going just for health reasons because I just thought it was important that at, 24 last year, so at 24,
Okay.
probably start going to the gym, taking care of myself a little bit more.
Yeah.
Not that I wasn't, but it got to a point where I was walking upstairs with a case of water and I was out of breath and I was like, that's probably not normal.
Yikes. Ooh.
And well, it's because like, in high school where you have to take a mandatory gym class and you're doing that all the time. So you're always having some form of like exercise. And then
Yeah.
after high school, I wasn't having that. And so in college, I never went to the gym. I also went to college during COVID, so there was no way I was going to set my foot in a gym where there were germs and everything going on there. But then I started going a year ago because on top of just me wanting to feel good, my doctor was also saying you should at least like pick up some weights, just 10 minutes a day. Like, you don't have to go crazy. But then I went crazy and then I started picking up weights at the gym and I'd be there for 45 minutes to like sometimes an hour and then go twice a week. And I ended up loving it. When I go, it's like therapy for me in a different way because I get all my energy out. I go at night most of the time because I'll come home from work, have dinner, then I'll go and I pick whatever I'm going to do. I'll usually start with cardio. I'll do like 10, 15 minutes as a warm up. Go get the blood pumping, then I'll go straight for arms, do some arm stuff, and then if I'm feeling really crazy, I'll do some abs. And there's this one machine that's like it picks up your arms and your legs at the same time. That one makes me feel like I'm gonna split myself in half.
Oh, I think I know what that one is. You
Yeah,
have
the
to
one
lay
you're
down.
picking up both at the same time.
Oh, okay.
Picking up your
that
legs and your
one.
arms at the same time. That one is rough, but I love it. It's so much fun.
I can't. See, for me, I've yet to do the gym, and I've said this to myself. I need to get to the gym. I need to start going to the gym. I've yet to do it, but also, I'm a photographer. I run around like crazy, like no tomorrow at any show, concert, or event. And that is my literal workout. Like, I literally am sore for the last maybe day or so because I was running around for 4 hours for some event, like on this weekend.
Oh, that's a lot of work. Yeah.
But it's fun though. But also, it's the same kind of like tiredness that you get, I feel like, at the gym, which is kind of strange to think about.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine you've got all the strength going on because you're carrying the camera, you're picking it up, you're moving in, then you're running. There's the cardio part, and then if you got to squat down and stuff, and then you got a little bit of everything. So yeah, I could totally see that. I also do yoga too. Sometimes, and I love yoga. Super fun. Cracks my back, it cracks my neck, it cracks everything. And I've gotten very flexible because of yoga.
So you got everything. You got the 4 triangle kind of thing going on.
I try. I'm not always as consistent as I want to be, but I do try to keep up with it. I think it's important for both my physical and my mental health. I think I just feel better when I do some type of exercise. It definitely makes me feel good.
Nice. Sick. Okay, if we're talking about cardio stuff, how about live shows? When's your next live show?
My next live show is June 22nd.
Oh, so that's
coming up. Yeah.
Coming up. I'm just looking at I'm like, wow, June. Wow.
Yeah. June 22nd, I'm playing Autodidact Beer in Morris Plains, New Jersey. It's a cool little beer joint, and I think usually on show dates they have like a food truck outside the venue too, so there's gonna probably be food there.
Nice.
And I'm playing with Caplau, who her real name is Sarah Capillo, and she makes like punk rock music, like kind of like Paramore-esque. She's very cool. And my friend Craig was booking the show and he was like, I want to book you here. And I said, I want to play with this girl. I want her on the lineup. And he got her on the lineup, and now we're playing a show together at the end of the month. So that's going to be pretty exciting.
Damn. What about in the summer or the fall? You got anything working in the back burn right now, or?
Yeah, so that same weekend, so the 22nd, I'll be in Morris Plains. The 23rd, I will be at Oakland for Oakland Pride. That will be cool in Jersey. So I'm going to be playing that show too. July 13th to Saturday, I will be playing at my first food festival. Dream Food Festival at American Dream Mall, also in Jersey. It'll be cool.
That's sick. That's cool.
Yeah, and then I believe it's August 19th. I'm literally looking at my Google Calendar right now.
Yeah.
August 19th, I will be playing a cover gig at Ombra, which is a bar in Boonton, also in Jersey. I'll be about 3 hours, so I'll be playing a couple originals, but most of it will be covers. So I haven't done that in a while since I was a teenager, but that'll be cool. And it's my favorite bar in the whole world. They're awesome. They have great drinks. So I'll be there.
3 hours. You're gonna need all the water and the everything that day.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I think it's gonna be a fun night. I already have the songs printed out that I want to play. I'm gonna do like some 2000 stuff, some more modern stuff, do a couple of my songs. My friend is doing sound for me too, so I might have him come on because he plays too. So I might have him come on, be a guest, and do a couple things too.
Nice.
Still trying to plan that out. But yeah, it's gonna be 3 full hours of music from about 7 to 10ish, I think. So that'll be cool.
That's wild. I know people have done, like, I've talked to actually Los Angeles artists that have done stuff like that, like 3 hours or 4 hours of like workshops or projects for other artists and everything that they play, like different bands, different gigs and everything. But like I've not seen that much in Canada, that much of like different of that happening though. But I'm like, how do you guys do it? I generally don't get how you guys just actually go about and do that.
I think it's just, for me, I can't speak on anybody else, but for me, I love the adrenaline that I get just being able to perform in front of people and being able to sing songs that I really love or that I'm proud of, or just having fun with it. 3 hours will, wow, I'm mixing all my words today. 3 hours will definitely be the longest, but it's also mostly covers, so it's not all my music, which will be fun. Because at a bar, you kind of got to set the scene for stuff that like people want to listen to, their like age range and all that. So it was really cool picking songs for that, because I was like, oh, I don't have to sing all my songs. I could just pick some fun stuff and kind of just do my own thing on it. But I had another scenario where there's this place in Brooklyn called Least of All Recordings, and they do this thing where you can record vinyls. And what they do is that you put a list of songs on their website to sell, and people could buy separate takes of it. So, for example, if you wanted my song Attached, and you're the first one to buy that song, you would get take 1. But if 3 more people bought the same song, they'd get a separate take. I'd have to separately record each take, and you get a different take. And I did that. And I did that last spring.
Yeah.
And wow, I was there for about 3 or 4 hours singing some songs for like ever. Like one song's people bought like 10 copies. So I had to record 10 separate takes of that song.
How did your vocals end up after those 10 takes there? Oh my gosh.
Fried. When I got home, I was talking like this because I had just spent the whole couple hours like singing. So all the way to Brooklyn, came back from Brooklyn to Port Authority, back to Jersey, drive home. But I had so much fun. The weather was nice. The people there were very nice. And obviously, like the cool part about that is being able to get paid for doing that. And I was able to get wholesale copies. I could bring the shows and sell. And then I sold every single one of them. I think I sold the last one back in March because I brought it to a show I was playing. Someone bought the last one. And so, yeah, that was a really cool way to make money, and also to share my craft in a very limited edition type way, which I don't think enough people know about that. So
yeah,
it was very cool. And a lot of my friends have done that vinyl recording thing. But yeah, I think in total I recorded about 30 records. 35. I don't remember. I have to ask them because it was a lot. I recorded like the whole day, dude.
Oh my gosh. Okay, artists, take note of this, but also your vocals will be fried. Jesus
Like, make sure
Nice.
you drink way more water. I did not do that. I drank just enough water. I didn't drink enough. Drink enough water, and if you have a vocal steamer, steam your voice
Yeah.
before. That will
Mhm.
literally save you. Um, can't stress it
Yikes.
enough to please drink water before you sing for, like, 3 or 4 hours.
Well, yeah, drink a lot of water and then some. Like, take a lot of water. Like, I don't know, bring a jug and then some. 2 jugs. I don't know. 5
Bring
jugs.
a whole ass, like, Stanley cup jug, and you're good.
Yikes. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. When you, what was one thing you didn't know for your first live performance, and now you think it's just basically a breeze?
Don't even remember how my
Yeah. When
first
was your
live
first
performance.
one?
Well, if we're counting in general, my first performance, I would say probably have to be some type of choir I did as a kid.
Oh wow.
But if we're talking solo
Yeah,
performing,
solo performing.
oh, I mean, 14, 15. A long
Oh,
time
you've been
ago.
doing music for like a while, man.
Yeah, I think solo, I was 14, 15 was just me and a guitar, no one behind me, nothing.
Jeez.
One thing that I guess I wish I learned more was if you want to try something new, always practice it before you go on stage. Always practice a couple different variations, whether it's like a vocal run you want to try or something you want to belt instead of how you regularly sing it, or if you want to play a different way. Always practice a lot, because then when you get on that stage, you'll have different ways that you could kind of filter that out and pick how you want to play it or sing it. If you try it on the spot, you're probably going to fuck it up. And you don't want to embarrass yourself. And, because that's a little embarrassing. You spend this whole time to prepare the show and then you fuck it up. It's like, and as a musician, I've gotten to the point where there are many times that I've forgotten my lyrics and I've practiced forever and ever and ever.
Yeah.
And I've done that and I kind of just roll with it, or I come up with new lyrics on the spot. Like I have a way of just
Let's go.
going with it. But for the most part, yeah, if you're gonna try something new, practice it. Don't be an idiot. Just practice it, because you got plenty of time to do that before your shows.
I like that. That's a good advice that you don't ever hear from people. It's just like, oh yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
That a lot.
Well, because I've also seen it with some people. Like I go to the open mic scene a lot, and I'll see some people that, like, I've seen them perform before, and then they'll perform something again, but they'll do it a different way, and then they try something new and it doesn't sound correct. It's because they didn't practice it before. It's because they're feeling a little risque and they're going for it, and I applaud them for that. But practice it before and really nail it, so you could be like, ha, I did that. You know what I mean? It's all about building your confidence up so you feel more accomplished with your performance.
Okay. Take note, artists. Take note. First performers and everything from that. But yeah, cool. I like that. What was your first concert you went to?
Backstreet Boys.
Of course.
The opening act, it was DJ Pauly D and Jesse McCartney, which was great because that was basically my childhood. Yeah, it was a crazy show. It was their 20th anniversary, I think. I was 13 years old. That was my first concert, and me and my sister went. So that was awesome.
Dang. My first concert was R5, if you know R5.
I love Ross Lynch. Ross Lynch. That was his family band. Yeah.
Yep.
Really cool.
Yeah, that was my first concert. It was Disney Channel. I forget. I don't know who the opener was. I should actually look at who that.
That's such a throwback, because I feel like nobody remembers R5 because now they have the Driver era.
Yeah.
That's like the new thing that he's doing with the brother. And I've heard really good things about it. Yeah. I just dropped my preamp.
Let's go. No, like, yeah, all I'm hearing about is Driver era. Everyone just is like, yeah, Ross Lynch, oh yeah, Driver era. But no one talks about like the Disney Channel area that much anymore, and just his old band and the family and just in general that. I'm like, dang, that hit.
Or
it hurts.
the Austin and Ally show. I mean, come on, that
No.
show. I was watching that show. I loved that show. It was good.
Same. It was a good era. I think that was my last Disney show actually I watched, and then
I think that was
ended.
my last too, because I didn't
Yeah.
really get into any of the new stuff. Like I didn't get
Mhm.
into like Descendants, like that movie genre.
Yeah,
I
no.
didn't get into. I will admit, when I got my Disney Plus account, I did watch High School Musical, the musical,
Oh,
the
the new one?
series. I watched the first season. I didn't watch
Mhm.
season 2 or season 3, but I watched it because I had a friend who I was like, "Am I really gonna watch this? Like, I'm in my 20s." I'm like, "Why am I gonna watch
Yeah.
this?" And guess what? I ate that shit up because it was just so adorable. It was just like, it was kind of like a Disney The Office, because the way that they film is like a
Oh.
mockumentary, kind of like The Office, where they put the camera and then they have the interviews and stuff. And I
Yeah.
thought that was really funny.
Oh, they did that.
Um,
Oh.
and Olivia Rodrigo got her start on that because she wrote that one song for
Right.
the show, and so it was cool to kind of
Mhm.
see how that evolved, and
Yeah.
now she's on her like second world tour or whatever, which is like
Crazy.
insane.
Well, yeah, that's the same thing with me. Like, all I'm hearing about is Olivia Rodrigo and, of course, Serena Carpenter. And those two have been going crazy around that time.
I love
Post
Sabrina
Disney.
Carpenter.
Yeah.
Wait, I have to show you something because we're talking Sabrina Carpenter.
Oh,
Pick it up.
hold. We're holding. We're pausing.
Oh,
What do you mean? What do you got? Oh my gosh.
it's a signed version of her vinyl that my friend got me for Christmas one year.
Wow. Huh. Yo, Sabrina, check this out.
He like framed it for me too. I was like, "Why did you do this?" But
Wow.
yeah.
Fancy. Yeah, I guess,
am a fan.
yeah. Huh. Yeah, I'm starting to hear her music and everything. That's one thing I absolutely love about Sabrina is her live performances and seeing her interact with the crowd and everything. That's what
Absolutely.
I love about her, especially. And that's one thing I wish more artists go more involved with. And that's one thing I always talk about with artists in general for live performances, interact with the crowd. And that's the best opportunity to do that.
Yeah, I love doing that when I perform distance. That's usually my closer for every single show I do. That's my closer, and I have people sing the lyrics with me. I have them sing like a certain part. I love doing that because it gives a chance for people to get involved in the performance, and I feel like she has a good way of doing that too. And then also when she does her ending clip for like nonsense, you know, it's a funny part, and she makes it an exclusive thing for each show that she does. It's always like a different phrase or joke or whatever she's doing, and I always thought that that was super funny.
Yeah.
Now Espresso has blown up everywhere. I can't open up my phone without that song playing. I just think about me.
Yeah, everyone's talking about Espresso right now. I'm like, I need to breathe for a bit here. Come on, guys.
Yeah. My friends at work told me, "Hey, you should make a TikTok where it goes, 'I'm working late because I'm a singer.'" And I still haven't made it yet. I need to.
Well, when this comes out, you better have made it because then someone's going to yoink it, girl.
I know. I probably should. It's very funny, and I don't know. I even like some of her older songs too. Like one of my favorite songs by her from like the Disney era is "Why." Tell me what I like when it works so well, but we don't even know why. Da-na-na-na. Yeah, I like that catchy stuff that she does. I don't know. She's great. She's very talented. She could dance. She can act. She can sing. You know, not a lot of people could do that.
Well, we're talking about big artists. They're on record labels. You're independent, of course.
Yes.
What would happen if someone right now approached you and been like, "Yo, 2-album deal right now"? Would you do it?
That really depends because as I've been doing this for years, I've learned more and more about how deals really work and how funds are recouped.
Too. Yeah.
Yeah, and how funds are recouped, and they're not always practical. I think John Bellion, who I love, he's great, did an interview where he talked about how there would be ticket sales on Ticketmaster for a show, and they'd be like, "Oh, it's X amount," but then they could just slash the prices at any point, and then you're not going to make anything from them. And I don't know. I've always gone back and forth because I'm like, man, if I got a deal, I would I would definitely think about taking it just because then I could just be full-time artist and like, go to the
Sure.
studio whenever I want to kind of just do that and have that be my life. And then my life wouldn't, be the same as it is now. But at the same time, I think about all the other things that major artists talk about, like owning your masters and having rights to certain things. And you get money here, but then you lose a lot of money here. You lose some autonomy. There's certain controls that people have on your look or what songs get to see the light of day. I think it depends. I think it would really depend to me, what type of deal it would be and making sure I get a good lawyer.
Yeah.
I've heard from many people if it ever happens to get a lawyer, and I would not skimp
Mhm.
on that because that is why some people get effed over if they
Yeah.
don't get a lawyer.
Yeah.
That's super important.
Good. Yeah, I was gonna just tell you that right now. Like, for sure, get a good look at the deal, look at the papers, and also look at what they're offering. Because I was talking to an artist for Tour Wise because they're on a record deal and the label's doing nothing for them. That's the thing, for promotion standpoint and everything. They're not doing anything. But if you're on a record label, they might have different promotion aspects. Like, they want to do more
Mhm.
radio promotion. This one's not doing anything for that, but they need to get promoted for radio, get more placements, and actually get out and do shows and everything. And if
Yeah,
they're not helping out with that, then look for one that works with that. It just depends on what
exactly.
you are looking for as well as an artist too.
And again, just making sure that there's certain things in check. Like again, I think even if you don't own your masters at first,
Yeah.
having the ability to buy out your masters at a certain point is important.
Oh yeah.
Like I could live with a label owning my masters because I copyright my music. A lot of people don't copyright their music. I actually do. I do put the money into doing that because I think it's important as an independent art. I think as an artist in general, you should copyright. And if you don't, like you do have certain rights
Mhm.
and stuff, but you get more rights if you just do it
Copyright.
through just do it through the government, just copyright it.
Hmm. How would
But
people go about that? Just wondering for people to know about that.
Copyright.gov,
There you
copyright.gov.
go.
You can literally Google how to copyright music, and
Hmm.
that is how I learned. I had a friend walk me through it, and if you ever want to be walked through it, DM me on Instagram. I will get on Zoom with you so you can copyright your music because I think that
Dang.
is so important. I will not gatekeep that information from people.
There
So
we
important.
go.
So,
There.
but I think what are we talking about? I mean,
Yeah.
I think there are certain things that are super important. Like again, having the right to buy out your masters at a certain point. Because I mean, look at what happened with Taylor Swift. They didn't give her that opportunity. That wasn't part of her contract. I think if they said to her, "Hey, we have you on a 4 album deal. We're gonna own all your masters until you recoup this money. But when you do, you could buy all this and own it for yourself." I think that's fair, right? Put that in
Oh
writing.
yeah.
I think that would be fair because at that point, you're giving her a loan. That's what labels do. They're basically like a bank. They give you a loan, you pay it back well over. They should give you the opportunity to buy the stuff that they gave a loan for once you recoup that. And again, I'm still learning about it because it's very complicated. They don't make it easy for you to get any of this information, but I think that's the biggest thing is just being able to own your art and be able to do what you want with it and to own your voice. I've seen like one of my favorite artists, JoJo, not JoJo Siwa. Y'all coming at me, don't talk about JoJo Siwa because I can't stand her. First of all.
Okay.
But we're talking about JoJo, like 2000s JoJo, like "Leave, Get Out Right Now." Like all y'all have probably listened to that song. So this artist, she got into a label deal at about 12 years old, and I think part of the contract was that they owned her voice in perpetuity,
Mhm.
which means like forever and ever until till the day that she dies.
Oh.
I believe so. I could be wrong, but I believe like there was a certain point like they owned her voice for X amount of like years or months or whatever.
Mhm.
And she signed that deal when she was 12 years old. So when she got into her 20s, she couldn't record or put out anything with the label. They kept shelving her project, so she started putting out free mixtapes, and then she was finally able to put out her third album because she sued the record label, and she was able to get out of that deal.
Nice.
But
Damn.
it took her many
Yikes.
years, a lot of loss. So there was emotional loss. There was
Mm.
definitely damage to her funds, obviously, because she was touring, but she wasn't making, as much
out of
money as
that,
she would
yeah.
doing like a major tour. So she's in a much better place now. She's put out, I think she's put out one album. She put out two albums, a Christmas EP, and then she put out another EP. So she's been able to then, like she got signed to
Pretty
another
cool.
label. She got a better contract, but
Nice.
it shouldn't have had to take her that long had she had like, I don't even know if she had a lawyer, but if she had one, she probably wouldn't have signed that. They probably would have redone the contract and got her out of that. But
Well, her
it's
parents
just,
should have known too because she's that age,
oh,
right?
absolutely. But
Yeah.
I don't think her parents even understood the massive like paper they had in front of their face. So I can't blame them too much, but at the same time, it's like, don't sign legal documents that you don't understand. If you can understand what
Yeah.
it says, sign it. If you understand what you're signing up for. If you don't, you have
Yeah.
to invest in an attorney, because at
And a
that
good
point
one.
it's like,
Yeah.
and a good one, because that shit was, she got very lucky that she was able to get out of that deal. And also, fun fact, so the label that she was signed to was called Blackground Records, and that's the same record label that Aaliyah was signed to. And Aaliyah was a R&B 90s legend. She died in a plane crash, blah blah blah. Big horrific story, but that was the label that she was signed to also. Aaliyah's uncle owned that label. So Aaliyah's uncle screwed over JoJo. I know, it's sick. It's disgusting.
We love the music industry. It's a cluster. Everything. Yeah.
Barry Hankerson has been profiting off of his dead niece for years. It's kind of disgusting.
Hey, look at Michael Jackson. They want to bring him back to life with, holograms and all that jazz. We love it. We love it. We love it.
I just, the whole thing with AI and music and stuff, I feel weird about it. I mean, I think the Beatles did it very tastefully, and I can appreciate that because they were all friends and stuff. So doing that, and I'm sure that they had involvement from the family and asked if it was okay to have George and John in it and stuff like that, because they're very much like that. Eminem also did that with his new video because he had the current version of him, but then he also had the old version, and obviously he agreed to that. So that's something that he agreed upon. It wasn't like someone put a gun to his head to say to do that. He wanted to do that. He wanted to, because that was kind of the point of the song, was being able to bring that back. And also, so he didn't have to shave his face. He didn't have to dye his hair back to blonde.
Yeah.
I think probably saved a lot of time, a lot of money, all that stuff, and got the point across. I think also Grimes is, she has a deal where, she's like she was married to Elon Musk at a certain point, but she's got like a pop, like a glitch pop type music. So she's done songs with like Ashnikko, like that type of style of music, like very like out there, just very out there,
very alternative.
Very alternative. I'll say that. But she has a deal where people are allowed to use her AI vocals as long as she gets credit for it.
That's fair.
As long as it says like featuring Grimes and she gets like a split deal or whatever.
Get some money out of
it. So again, if you're okay with doing that and someone's using your likeness and you're okay with that, and you're okay with that also past the point of you're gone, you're not here anymore, or the family agrees to it if they're part of the estate, I think that's okay because you're agreeing to it. But if they're not agreeing to it, then obviously you need to respect the wishes of the family, because I really didn't like when Drake was doing his diss tracks and then having Tupac's AI vocals in a song, and the estate of Tupac was saying, no, no, delete it, get out of here, please. Because they didn't agree to it, because they said he's dead, and first of all, I don't know if he would really want to do this. So for the sake of respecting our dead family member, just please stop
Yeah,
immediately.
just no. Yeah,
Cease and desist.
cease and desist, and you're done. Yikes. Yeah, we could go on for hours and hours about AI stuff. What?
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
But best piece of advice you ever gotten for doing music?
Best piece of advice. Don't listen to what people say. Do what makes you happy. Don't make music for people. Make it for yourself.
Oh yeah, I like that. Cool. If you could have your listeners and fans remember one thing about yourself, what do you want them to remember you by? It's a deep questions at the end. We always love those.
I'm trying to think. I just hope if you've ever met me in person that I've at least made you smile or laugh, or both at the same time. I would hope that I put a smile on your face.
That's it.
Yeah. Just keep it easy peasy.
Oh wow! And if you could talk to yourself from a year from now, what would you tell yourself?
If you thought that last year was hard, this one might be a little bit harder, but the rewards will hopefully be even more fulfilling.
Yeah, I would hope so. I really hope so for you, for your sake.
I hope so. Where 26-year-old me is gonna slap the hell out of 25-year-old me, and she ain't going like that.
We're gonna get Back to the Future kind of stuff. Oh no! Oh no! We're gonna. Yeah,
it's a good movie.
Very good movie. I love Back to the Future. Do you feel like you made some impact at some point to someone for your music or no?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
Well, because people won't usually like. I don't know. I've never had someone say to me like, "Oh my god, like this really this did something for me." Like I've had people who are from different states and whatnot tell me like how much like they like my music, or they've read my poetry book and they like that and they felt something. But I've never had someone say, "Oh my god, like you impacted my life in such a big way." I haven't had that happen, but I feel like I've had a lot of people say that, you know, they listened to certain songs at a certain point in their life when they needed to hear it, and then I got that across to them, and I'd be like, thank you. I mean, lots of my songs are sad, but if you need to listen to it and cry, I hope you got something out of it.
Dang. Okay. That's fair, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, everyone has those days.
Sometimes you gotta just cry it out, scream it out, do all that stuff. Like Avril Lavigne said, I like to yell, I like to throw things. I'm punk.
No, that's Melissa talking. It's fine.
Not Melissa. You know, she did an interview with Call Her Daddy, and she said, like, I think you kind of like believe it.
Hey, she didn't deny it. Just saying, it's probably Melissa, you know.
You're not Avril, you're Melissa. And Avril's like, you know what? I don't care if you think I'm Melissa.
Probably Melissa talking. That's all I'll say.
Oh my goodness.
No, I'm kidding. No, it's Avril. People are nuts about that stuff. Who knows?
That conspiracy theory originated, I think, in like Brazil or like a different country, and it was all like a foreign language website that said Avril Lavigne is dead, and this is why. And the whole conspiracy theory, it was crazy. It made no sense, none at all.
Now that makes sense. Now it's from Brazil. It makes total sense.
I'm Brazilian, so I was not approving that website.
Never mind. We take it back.
I think it was either Brazil or Mexico. I don't remember, but I know it was like a South American country that started the website about her being dead.
Not Mexico. Oh no.
It had to be one of those. I don't remember, but I was like, wow, okay.
Nah,
you had a lot of time to write this up.
Yeah. Well, that's fans. well, crazy fans at that point. They're like, yeah, if you get to that point of level, I am sorry for you.
Yeah, no, it's too much for me.
Yeah, I don't think anyone wants to get to that point of like crazy fans stalking and saying that you're Melissa, even though you aren't. But it's fine.
Melissa.
Melissa, describe yourself with one word. What would it be?
Neurotic.
Okay, why neurotic?
Neurotic because not always because I want to be, but I have an anxiety disorder. So sometimes I'm neurotic because I'm overthinking things to a point of perfectionisms, or just wanting to say the right thing, or wanting to make something look the way it needs to. Sometimes it's just because I have irrational thoughts and I'm thinking like, this person is like me because this, or this isn't working because this, or this isn't good enough because of this. So I think it's definitely been toned down, but I think sometimes I'm neurotic in those ways. In other ways, sometimes I'm thinking so out of the box about creative things and I have these ideas and they don't make sense, but they make sense. Like, a great example of that is for the attached video. I told my friend directing the video, I said, I want to be in a straitjacket and I want to just start shaking around. And that's like and then I did it and it made sense because that was kind of like the storyline that I was creating was about attachment and someone driving you nuts and crazy like you're in a nut house. And that's kind of how I felt when I was in these toxic relationships. Like I felt like trapped. Um and I told my friend that, and she was like, when you told me the street jacket at first, I was like, that's a little weird, but then it made sense. And I was like, I knew you were gonna say that, but I did it anyway. And yeah, a little neurotic.
I hope that she kept the same. What am I trying to say? The word here. She still is your good friend there, and
No,
she doesn't
oh my
think you're
god,
nuts
no,
and that.
yeah.
Yeah.
We've been friends for like 2 years. She's actually dating my producer. She produced a video for that. So yeah. She just thought it was weird, but she was like, honestly, I'm not phased. I'm around mu- musicians all the time that
Oh,
say
okay.
weird things, so it's
Yeah,
fine.
that's fine. That's good then.
But yeah, I went on Amazon and I bought it was like a Halloween costume and it was to fit a small boy, and I kind of have the build for that, so I was like, "That's gonna fit me," and it was $45 and I bought it, and that's what we used for the video, and I think I donated it. I also don't know why we have that as a Halloween costume, that's a little concerning to me, but
Nah, I've seen worse. It's fine.
but yeah, that that was a little bit of my neuroticness coming out in different ways.
Neat. Very cool. Okay. And what do you want the people to know about you? Shout yourself out. Tell the people what you got going on. Everything right now.
Yeah, I've got shows going on all summer. If you go to my Instagram, which is the platform I'm most active on, I've got all my shows linked there right in my link tree. You can listen to my new song Cruise Control, which came out in January, and I've got another song called Sway Links, which will be coming out
Some point.
soon at some point. Don't know when, but I'm really happy about that. So you could stay in the know if you follow me on social media. And I'm also working on a new line of merchandise. So I'm working on that to sell at my live shows, but I also do ship my merch. So if you DM me, I will ship it personally to you. I've got a couple shirts left, and I'm going to be working on doing hats, and I'm going to get more stickers. I'm thinking about doing lighters at one point. So I've got a couple things I'm going to do. So any way you want to support me, if you can't buy merch, if you just share my stuff on social media, it's free. That's a great way to support me. And I hope you stay tuned. Yeah.
Cool. I like it. You love it.